Namaskar and a very warm welcome to Express News with me Deepika, and in the next 30 minutes we will take you across 100 national and international updates from across the world. Let's begin. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said that across all regions of Assam one can see the support for NDA. In a tweet video, PM Modi said that NDA's efforts to boost connectivity and infrastructure in the region are getting huge support. Campaigning for first phase of assembly election in Assam and West Bengal ended at 5 p.m. this evening. Polls are scheduled for the 27th in both the states. In West Bengal, 191 candidates are in fray for 30 assembly seats to be going for polls on 27th of March, along with veteran politicians including minister, MLA, former ministers and former MPs. Two actresses turned politicians are also among the contestants from Midnapur and Jhargram assembly constituencies. Union Home Minister said if BJP comes to power, travel will be made free for all the women. From KG to PG, BJP will provide free education for women. Budget session of Parliament adjourned, sign die. Productivity of Lok Sabha stands at 114%. The Indian Coast Guard today announced that they have recovered a huge haul of narcotics and weapons in an operation last Saturday off the Lakshadweep Islands. The estimated market value of the 300 kg heroin recovered from the Sri Lankan boss Ravi Ansa is Rs 3,000 crores. 5 AK-47 rifles were also recovered from the boat. This is the second major drug smuggling operation thwarted by the Indian Coast Guard within a fortnight. The last year has been especially successful for the Coast Guard as almost 2 tons of narcotics and drugs worth almost 5,000 crore rupees have been busted by it. India has told Pakistan that the designs of 2 Indian hydroelectric power projects in Jammu and Kashmir, namely the 1000 megawatt Pakal Dual and 48 megawatt Lower Kalnai, are fully compliant with the 1960 Indus Water Treaty. Pakistan had raised objections to the designs of 2 plants at the annual meeting of the Permanent Indus Commission held in New Delhi on Tuesday and Wednesday. Former Mumbai CP Parambir Singh files petition in Bombay High Court. Singh challenges his transfer and demands CBI inquiry in it. Earlier, Singh approached Supreme Court and the Supreme Court suggested him to go Bombay High Court. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be making his first foreign visit since the COVID-19 pandemic. The visit to neighbouring Bangladesh takes place on Friday and Saturday. Prime Minister will attend the National Day program of Bangladesh as the chief guest on 26th of March. In addition to bilateral talks scheduled with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, a meeting with Bangladesh President Mohammad Abdul Hamid along with Bangladesh Foreign Minister Dr. A.K. Abdul Momin is also part of Prime Minister's 2-day visit to Bangladesh. A number of agreements will be signed between the two countries during the Prime Minister's visit, including pacts in the field of trade, cultural cooperation, health, railways and cooperation in new area. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be visiting Jashoreshwari Kali Temple during his 2-day visit to Bangladesh. The temple is one of the 51 Shakti Peeths as per the Hindu mythology, scattered across India and neighbouring countries, with 6 in Bangladesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also visit Orakandi, a sacred shrine of the Matua community in Gopalganj, during his upcoming Bangladesh visit. At the Orakandi temple, PM Modi will pay homage to Harichand Thakur, the founder of the Matua community. Here, PM Modi will also meet people of Matua community and address a public meeting. Bangladesh has scheduled an elaborate plan to celebrate the birth centenary of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman and to mark the Golden Jubilee of Independence. Many heads of states will be visiting Bangladesh for the celebrations being held since 17th March. There is also an exhibition hall in Tungipara where PM Modi will visit during his stay in Bangladesh. The exhibition has pictures from the 1971 Indo-Bangladesh War. RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das today said that RBI is committed to using all policy tools to support the economic recovery while preserving price and financial stability. Underlining the huge role that technology and innovation played in serving the consumers better and faster, Shaktikanta Das said the RBI processed 274 crore digital transactions to provide direct benefit transfer to people, most of which happened during the pandemic. The RBI governor urged the banks and NBFCs to enhance their skill set to identify risk early, measure them, mitigate the risk proactively and build up adequate provisioning buffers to absorb potential losses. The retail prices of petrol and diesel were slashed for the second straight day today. Petrol prices were slashed by 21 paise per litre and diesel prices by 20 paise per litre after a sharp decline in international fuel prices. The global oil benchmark Brent crude today traded 1.35% lower at $63.54 per barrel. Equity benchmark Sensex ended 740.19 points or 1.51% lower at 48,440.12 today. The broader NSE Nifty declined 224.50 points or 1.54% to 14,324.90. Gold gained rupees 44 to rupees 44,347 per 10 gram in the national capital today, supported by weaker rupee and overnight gain in global precious metal prices, according to HDFC Securities. Silver, however, dipped rupees 637 to rupees 64,110 per kg from rupees 64,747 per kg in the previous trade. Rupee fell by another 7 paise to settle at 72.62 against the US dollar today amid concerns over surging coronavirus cases in India and some parts of the world. 6 states, Maharashtra, Punjab, Kerala, Karnataka, Chhattisgarh and Gujarat are reporting a surge in daily new cases. They together account for 80.63% of the new cases reported in the last 24 hours. 53,476 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. Maharashtra continues to report the highest daily new cases at 31,855. It is followed by Punjab with 2,613, while Kerala reported 2,456 new cases. India's total active caseload stands at 3.95 lakh today, comprising 3.35% of the total positive cases. A net incline of 26,735 cases is recorded from the total active caseload in the last 24 hours. 3 states, Maharashtra, Kerala and Punjab, account for 74.32% of total active cases in the country. Maharashtra alone accounts for 62.91% of the total active cases in the country. Over 5.31 crore vaccine doses have been administered through 8,61,292 sessions as per the provisional report till 7 a.m. today. As on the 68th day of the vaccination drive, more than 23 lakh vaccine doses were given. 60% of the cumulative doses have been given across 8 states. India's cumulative recovery stand at 1,12,31,650 today. The national recovery rate is 95.28%. 26,490 recoveries were registered in the last 24 hours. The gap between total recovered cases and the active recovered cases stands at 1,08,36,458 today. 251 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours. 6 states account for 78.49% of the daily deaths. Maharashtra saw the maximum casualties totaling to 95. Punjab follows Maharashtra with 39 daily deaths and Chhattisgarh reported 29 deaths in the last 24 hours. 14 states and union territories have not reported any COVID-19 death in the last 24 hours. The global case tally for COVID-19 have crossed 12 crore 54 lakh, while there has been over 27 lakh 57,000 deaths due to the virus. Recovery crosses 10.13 crore. The United States continues to remain the worst affected from COVID-19. The country has reported over 3 crore 7 lakh cases of COVID-19. The deadly virus has claimed 5,58,000 lives in the US. An expert from the World Health Organization has said that there were no safety concerns for pregnant women to get vaccinated against COVID-19 based on the available data. The pandemic is getting worse in many European countries, with the number of COVID-19 infections, hospitalizations and deaths on the rise. As the number of COVID-19 deaths in Brazil passed 3 lakh on Wednesday, President Jair Bolsonaro's fourth health minister used his first official day in the job to pledge a vaccination goal of 1 million shots a day to put brakes on the snowballing crisis. France may widen its COVID-19 restrictions to 3 other regions, including Rhône, Aube and Niva Islands, regions lengthening a list of high-risk zones. Such zones include Paris, where curbs have been tightened. Belgium will close schools, non-food stores and hairdressers for 4 weeks from Saturday in a sharp renewed lockdown designed to contain a rising third wave of COVID-19 infections. President Joe Biden has on Wednesday named Vice President Kamala Harris to lead U.S. efforts with Mexico and Central America's Northern Triangle countries to try to stem the flow of immigration to the country. The U.S. Senate has on Wednesday voted to approve Rachel Levine to become Assistant U.S. Health Secretary, the first openly transgender person to be confirmed by the chamber. Australians hit by devastating floodwaters began returning to their homes today as skies cleared and authorities accelerated cleanup efforts, though fresh evacuation orders were issued in some areas where water levels were still rising. Kim Janey was on Wednesday sworn in as mayor of Boston, making her the first black person and first woman to occupy the post. Zara Tindall, the granddaughter of Britain's Queen Elizabeth, has given birth to a baby boy. The announcement was made by Zara's husband and a former England Rugby Union captain Mike Tindall during a rugby podcast show. A digital artwork by humanoid robot Sophia was sold at auction on Thursday for $688,888 in the form of a non-fungible token, the latest sign of a frenzy in the NFT art world. Titled as Sophia Instantiation, the digital work is a 12-second MP4 file showing the evolution of Bonacito's portrait into Sophia's digital painting and is accompanied by a physical artwork painted by Sophia on a printout of a self-portrait. A classical duo played soothing music for frontline workers and people getting their coronavirus vaccines in Richmond, Virginia on Wednesday. Angela Lemon and Matt Gold performed at what is likely the most usual venue in their musical careers, the Richmond Raceway mass vaccination site. Amidst the heavy influx of COVID patients these days, a little music certainly gives a smoothing effect. As health workers attended to patients at this busy Brazil hospital, their ears were met with joyful sound on the violin as played by Christian de Andrade. While it has been difficult to play in the hospital amid a worsening COVID pandemic in Brazil, de Andrade believes his humble violin has the power to bring a little joy to health workers and patients. Brazil's iconic Christ the Redeemer statue is getting a facelift, with restorers climbing the 125-feet statue to ensure it's looking its best for the 90th anniversary celebrations in October. A scan of the colossal Christ was taken so as to best guide restorers in their work. Items from Elvis Presley, Dame Elizabeth Taylor and Bob Dylan are set to hit the auction block during GWS Auctions, the Artifacts of Hollywood and Music auction. The top lot is considered to be a rare 1968 cherry-red Hagerstrom Viking guitar Presley used during his comeback television special with a starting bid of $350,000 US. Greece commemorated its 200th anniversary of independence with a symbolic reopening of its National Art Gallery on Wednesday, with Britain's Prince Charles and other high-profile guests in attendance. Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin and Cypriot President Nikos Anastasiadis also attended the ceremony at the newly renovated and expanded museum, where guests wore masks and were seated according to social distancing rules. The museum, whose renovation began in 2011, has a total of 20,000 works, of which 1,000 will be on display at a time. The work includes paintings, sculptures and engravings from the post-Byzantine period to modern art. A German puzzle enthusiast took 4.5 months to put together a 54,000-piece jigsaw he claims is the biggest in the world. This vast jigsaw is 8.64 meters long and 2.04 meters high and shows an art gallery, complete with visitors admiring the walls, which are adorned with famous artworks like Gustav Klimt's The Kiss, Monet's Poppies and Girl with a Pearl Earring by Johannes Vermeer. For Jacqueline Tolu, a 98-year-old French woman, and Elliot Bellman, a 20-year-old student living in his parents' house in England, the COVID-19 pandemic upset their lives but also forged an unlikely friendship. For the past 6 months, Tolu and Bellman have been having weekly chats over Skype brought together by a scheme called Shiriami that pairs elderly people with language students. After a convincing 66 runs victory in the first ODI, confident Virat Kohli team will play their second ODI against England tomorrow at the same venue. Indian captain Virat Kohli and vice captain Rohit Sharma are among the India batsmen to progress in the ICC Men's T20I players rankings after clinching the home series against England by 3-2 in Ahmedabad. Indian team of Manu Bhakir, Rahi Sarnobat and Chinky Yadav win gold medal after beating Poland by 17-7 in 25-meter pistol team event of ISSF Shooting World Cup, its 10th gold medal for India. The torch relay for the postponed Tokyo Olympics began its 121-day journey across Japan and is headed towards the opening ceremony in Tokyo on July 23rd. The relay began in northeastern Fukushima prefecture, the area that was devastated by the 2011 earthquake, tsunami and the meltdown of these nuclear reactors. Belgium shrugged off an early scare to see off Wales by 3-1 and make a winning start to their World Cup qualifying campaign. Wales took an unexpected early lead with their first attack as Connor Roberts and Gareth Bale combined for Harry Wilson to finish a fabulous team move. FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Netherlands began their 2022 World Cup qualifying campaign with a surprise defeat by Turkey. The Dutch runners-up in 2010 fell behind when Burak Yilmaz deflected shot wrong-footed goalkeeper Tim Krul. Yilmaz then converted a penalty before Hakan Çalhanoğlu scored in the third. World champions France kicked off their Qatar 2022 qualifying campaign with a disappointing 1-1 draw against Ukraine. Reigning European champions Portugal made a winning start to their World Cup qualifying campaign as they edged a stubborn Azerbaijan. A Sunil Chhetri-less India will face a more fancied Oman in its first international match in more than a year in Dubai today in the evening. Cameron Norrie produced superb comeback to reach the second round of the Miami Open. Norrie recovered from a 5-1 third set deficit to beat Japan's Yoshihito Nishioka by 6-1, 3-6 and 7-5. The 25-year-old won 6 straight games to seal victory and set up a meeting with 9th seed Grigor Dimitrov. Having lost the first set, Great Britain's Katie Boulter began her fight back with a break to move by 4-1 ahead midway through the second set and force a decider. Berlin volleyball fans were able to attend a match for the first time since last October and thanks to a pilot scheme which allowed 100 spectators into Max Schmeling Hall while observing strict coronavirus restrictions. The world's best free riders were crowned at the final stop of the Free Ride World Tour in Verbier, Switzerland on Tuesday. Competing in her hometown, Elizabeth Gerritsen pulled out an extraordinary run to catapult her from 5th place in the women's sky standings to top of the leaderboard to claim the world title by a margin of just 20 points ahead of Norway's Hedvig Wessel. Indian shuttlers Saina Nehwal and Kidambi Srikanth got off to a winning start at the ongoing Orleans Master. Nehwal completely dominated Ireland's Rachel Darragh to secure a commanding 21-9, 21-5 win. Indian mixed doubles pair of Pranav Jerry Chopra and Siki Reddy also made a winning start, defeating Austria's Dominique Stepitzit and Serena Aouyang by 21-7, 21-18. Hollywood star Johnny Depp is due to find out today if he can appeal against the ruling in his wife-beater libel case. Jazz band Harry Connick Jr. showcases his spiritual side with his new album, Alone with My Faith. Connick Jr. solely created the album in his home studio during the pandemic, playing all the instruments, recording all background vocals and engineering. Tina Turner opens about her troubled past and living with post-traumatic stress disorder in new documentary film called Tina, which the soul and rock music legend says is the final act of her public life before she bows out. George Segal, the Oscar-nominated actor who sparred with Richard Burton in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, romanced Glenda Jackson in A Touch of Class, and one laughs in the tough TV sitcom The Goldenbergs, has died at the age of 87. Walt Disney Co. and on Tuesday released Marvel Studios' film Black Widow by 2 months until July and said it would offer the movie simultaneously in theaters for a free fee on the Disney Plus streaming device. After being nominated in the lead category of the soon-to-be-held BAFTA and Film Independent Spirit Awards, Adarsh Gaurav has now been conferred with the Rising Star Award by the Asian World Film Festival. American model and TV personality Chrissy Teigen has deleted her account from Twitter, saying that the platform no longer plays a positive role in her life. Actor Salman Khan on Wednesday received first dose of COVID-19 vaccine. Actor Amir Khan has tested positive for the COVID-19. He is at home in self-isolation. Actor R. Madhavan has also tested positive for the coronavirus. And that's it in this edition of Express News, and we will be back with more and fresh updates. Till then, keep watching DD India.